It's Gear Dork.
Hello, and welcome to Gear Dork, where we talk about some of the features and capabilities of our more esoteric equipment. I say esoteric, I mean weird. We have a bunch of weird stuff here, and Gear Dork is where we talk about the weird stuff. This is a Samamp V.A.C 40. It's a 40-watt amp that was made by the Samamp company in 2004. Samamp is still in business, and we'll include a link to them in the video description if you want to get in touch with them. This amplifier is no longer made, but the principle that it operates on is so unusual and works so well that I really wanted to show it off. The preamp section is a fairly conventional layout, volume, bass, and treble. The treble control has a pole pot on both channels that it acts as a mid-range boost. Both channels have a 3-position toggle switch for impedance matching on your pickups. The high gain channel has a gain control in addition to a volume control. This preamp circuit with the gain control is the first innovative feature that I wanted to talk about. This design has a conventional preamp section in the gain control. It's feeding a second tube, which is operating almost as a power tube in a push-pull configuration. So between the gain and the volume control, you get something of the effect of an overdriven power section. Samamp is using this preamp design in their current models. The most interesting thing about the Samamp, though, is that in lieu of a master volume, there is a power limiting circuit which operates on a switch, a rotary switch. Many amplifiers have a master volume, which in theory allows you to set the tone of your amplifier and then adjust the output volume so that you can achieve the desired sound at any volume. Master volumes don't really work. They work in that they make things quieter or louder, but any implementation of a master volume tends to change the sound of the amplifier pretty drastically. The way the Samamp implements volume lowering is not with a conventional master volume, but a rotary switch here that lowers the power in the output stage of the amplifier. At full power, it's 40 watts, but you can also lower it to 30, 20, 9, 4, or even 2 watts. Is that right? But you can also lower the power to 30, 20, 9, or even 4 watts. And the way that it does this is unique. This is a sort of simplified schematic of one of the power tubes in the output section of the Samamp. There's a resistor under the cathode, bypassed with a capacitor, and that sets the bias of this tube.
Goddamn nerds.
And when the amplifier is operating at full power, that resistor is connected to ground. To lower the power, the Samamp adds a filamentary light bulb in series with the bias resistor to ground and creates a new local ground which is elevated above the ground plane of the amplifier.
Goddamn geek.
What that does is it makes the difference between the B+ voltage and the local ground less. So the B+ voltage stays the same if you were to measure it, but the usable voltage in the tube is less. The filamentary light bulb, when it's not incandescing, behaves like a piece of wire, and the tube is biased normally to ground. But as current starts to flow through the tube, that is, as you start playing, the current draws through the filament, the resistance goes up and stabilizes, and it lowers the output power available in the output section. This is something of a dynamic effect, so it doesn't behave like a static current limit, but it sags as you play. The harder you play, the more current draws through the tube, the more the light bulb lights up, the higher the resistance, the more current limiting. It's an absolutely novel and ingenious way to implement volume reduction. And it has the effect of leaving the output tubes operating normally, just quieter. Here, I'll demonstrate for you. But we should turn the amp around so you can see what's going on. Did you like how I did the little resolve there at the end to let people know that we were finished with the song? This amp was delivered with this really clever channel switching pedal. Not only can you switch between the two channels, but you can create a blend between the overdrive and the clean channel when this yellow light is on. And this pan pot here pans between the clean and overdrive channels. That's an incredibly clever implementation, and this pedal could conceivably be used with any two-channel amplifier, or even with two completely different amplifiers, and you would have a blend control in the yellow position. I don't know why no one thought of this before, and this just came as a freebie with this amplifier. Now I'm going to demonstrate this clever channel switching pedal. Sorry, I did that wrong. Fuck me. Well, that's the Samamp edition of Gear Dork. Thank you for indulging me. A lot of people are tired of this shit.